Over 70 million registered voters. Now, Inec been captured for the last election we happened February and March 2023. And that election can happen to be one of the elections where get the most awareness, especially among the youths. And election where BC carry a lot of youth participation and youth awareness. But incidentally, that election can get to be the election where gets the least number of voters. People come dey wonder wetin dey happen. However, as the election of 25th February, that of the presidential election, is happen, and PDP and Labour Party, their presidential candidates too, carry waka enter inside court, say, I no dey agree. Court can't help us interpret this matter because different cases been happen as people been report that election, cases of voter suppression, intimidation, cases of INEC, staff not arriving early on time, and some people even not even voting at all because the INEC staff no show up at all for inside election. But courts don't give their judgment. As 6th of September, na a day when Nigerians get to remember as the day where be say the Court of Appeal will be the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal give judgment on the case we get to do with the February 25th general election for Nigeria, especially the presidential election. Now it gets plenty attention. Now, different people work out enter inside court, and courts don't give their judgment. And as court give their judgment, it give their ruling against waiting the case where we say APM, the Allied People's Movement, CARICOM. It give their verdict against the one where we say Labour Party and its presidential candidates CARICOM. He also give their judgment against the one where we say PDP and its presidential candidates CARICOM. In all of this, he throw away all their cases, say they no hold water, they no get weight at all. So now we to make courts throw away the cases. People don't they talk, even though say you don't they try and say all eyes on the judiciary, all eyes on the judiciary. Now judiciary don't finally give their verdicts. Waiting be the next step. Waiting be the next line of action for Nigerians. Everybody's supposed to cool down, maintain, and make we move on. However, reactions still they go as it get to be with this election. And I'm waiting to even talk about some of these reactions and some of the things that people don't note as it get to do with this election. And as usual, another alone for inside here, I did with Mr. Darlington. This is my way of welcoming you to update with me, Precious. Mr. Darlington did with me, Barrister Darlington. Barrister Darlington, today I want you to talk in your capacity as a lawyer. Welcome.
Yeah.
This one way they like say you weak like this. What's happen?
The events of yesterday, it weak everybody.
Wednesday. A date to remember, right?
Yes.
Wednesday, 6th of September.
Yes.
So wait to make you weak you. Because if you look at how detailed the judges give their judgments, it be like say they don't leave any stone unturned, explaining exactly why they give each of the judgments. And if you look at you talk say irregularities being there. You talk say then collect your vote. Show us how they use collect your vote.
Mhm.
And that's not one of the things. Oh, they say you talk, say this person, he commits crime. Show us where he commit the crime. And the crime, he affect the laws of Nigeria. That's now waiting the court. So by law, waiting the judges don't judge now. Is they wrong? By law. That's now why we want follow you sit down and talk this matter.
Thank you, Precious. Yes, by law, a lot is wrong.
Oh, really? Point out, then give us facts.
A lot is wrong. The basis for their decision start decisis. If you go into details, you will see say they are wrong.
How?
Good. Let's take it one by one, just like they did.
Absolutely, that's nice.
Good. Abuja.
Good.
You know, Abuja has been a contentious issue.
Yes, the 25% and the special status.
Good.
Good.
The framers of the constitution are not stupid. They knew why they said and Abuja. And Abuja. That word and is where they erred. They refuse to interpret that particular and properly. It is not about giving Abuja more superior preference than other states. If you go to section 299 of the constitution, where it is said that Abuja can be regarded as any other state. has equal status like any other state. Now, ask yourself, why did they particularly choose Section 299 to mention the difference between Abuja and other states? That means there is something about Abuja. They didn't just say Abuja as a state, but they say it may be regarded as any other state. That means there is something about Abuja. In the first place, if you check very well, the framers of the there is the intentment, because when you are making a law, there is the intention.
Intention, yes.
Good. In fact, let me even start. When you want to interpret a law, there are 3 rules of interpretation. 3. Yes. Interpretation of status. You have the literary rule of interpretation.
Okay.
You have
the say write down for book, and say you interpret.
Good. You have the golden rule.
Okay, which will be?
Then wait for it. The third one, you have the mischief rule.
Oh.
That is where this sense is coming from. And that is where I am suspecting that these judges went for broke. They went for mischief rule of interpretation.
Why you think so?
Yeah, because they left the real substantive matter, and they were looking at when you are making a judgment, there's something we call a obiter. Yes, obiter. That means it is, you just mention it is by the side. It's not the main issue.
So they try talk say in reality Abuja suppose also get that special status. They talk this one because of say all the presidents during our democracy don't get 25% of Abuja before, or now waiting make really you emphasize say the judges not do well for that.
No, I am emphasizing based on what the constitution says about Abuja.
Okay.
It is the constitution that gave Abuja that special status.
Okay, so now every other president from Obasanjo downwards, they don't win 25% of Abuja.
They have always, and I wanted them to tell us which other president that did not win. I wanted them to, this is about one of the things I wanted them to tell us yesterday. I wanted them to at least go there. That's why I thought that they were looking at the mischief rule of interpretation, and which is very bad. Very, very bad. I was thinking they will tell us, give reference to any other president where don't win presidential election without winning Abuja. They didn't go there. You see where I told you now that they have heard. Now, how come?
But the fact that every president don't win Abuja before, it stopped the fact say their judgments, correct. It affects their judgments in any way.
Yes, now.
How?
Because one, they left Abuja. They left Abuja with the intentment of Abuja as a special statute capital. Because the intention of the framers of the constitution is to give Abuja that special status.
So now what's it make you not get a governor? Now you don't get APC governor, you just get one senatorial seat.
Exactly. And now let me ask you, if they are claiming that Abuja is like any other state, is Abuja enjoying the privileges that other states are enjoying?
Which is?
There are governors in a state. There are commissioners. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
All the paraphernalia you see in a state, all the things that a governor enjoys in a state, does the minister in Abuja enjoy it? The answer is no. You see what I'm saying? So all the things that when you look at a state, when you want to describe a state, there are things that go with a state. Does Abuja have it? Abuja does not have it.
Okay.
So how can they not tell us that Abuja is like any other state? Therefore, it cannot be separate from other states.
But then back them up with the constitution.
No,
it ain't wrong by backing
that thing is wrong. Is wrong. I'm just giving you instances. Are you getting what I'm saying? That particular section 299 that they said it can be. Ask yourself, why did they now make a particular reference to Abuja under section 299?
Okay, so we could go straight to the next judgment. The fact say Labour Party, for instance, and its presidential candidates be no fit prove to the courts on their claims, say the election was marred by irregularities, and say their votes then come out and the no fit show beyond reasonable doubt, say you talk say fraud, bad thing happen for the election. When the bad thing will happen, Sean.
They are in fact they are being clever by half.
No,
Remember,
but you know, say Mr. Darlington, you know, say as one of the people they wey don't argue this matter go talk, then talk say, oh, every political party been get polling agents, polling unit agents. So why e be say Labour Party no retrieve the results and from their polling unit agents then,
okay,
so that they go use and contest the case
let,
instead of relying on INEC.
that argument is dead on arrival.
Okay, explain.
INEC is the umpire in this election.
Okay.
If I cannot get credible information from INEC, why do you want me to get it from a polling agent who may not even be knowledgeable, who may be whose hand may be tied, who may be under intimidation? Why should I? If I cannot get it direct from the umpire, why should I now rely on an agent who he may have been bought over?
Okay, so you feel say the courts no handle that matter
directly? They didn't. If you cannot rely if you can now rely on the information you got from INEC, who is the umpire of that election? Who's supposed to give you information? Remember, Labour Party was telling INEC to give them the beavers where they want to.
Not be only Labour Party.
Good. They told us that they retrieved it so that they can now use it for another election.
Absolutely. So that they go use them for governorship election.
Exactly. Remember that at the end of the day, we discovered everything was wiped out.
But they say they saved the true copies then for
where was backup. They are using it now against Labour and other petitioners that they couldn't show. Meanwhile, where they have to show evidence, INEC have made it impossible. Why didn't the tribunal look at it?
Now still the court, now still this same court, now grant INEC the go ahead, so make them delete the documents there. Because INEC appealed to them, say they need to delete them. So they will feel prepared for the next election.
Exactly. That means
so why not the same court will give them access? Now
they blame petitioners now that they could not provide evidence. You can see. So they are working in tandem. That is where I cannot tell you authoritative that INEC and the tribunal, they are working hand in hand. Because I expected them to go there. I expected them to ask, but you told us that use this thing now, you are going to save it at the back end. That this thing will be saved, even if you are using it for government. So how come now they could not make use of it?
Are you saying that the tribunal exonerated INEC of every blame? Every responsibility?
Is it not obvious? They validated what INEC did. Which even INEC at the point agreed that yes, they did something wrong. But now
they overlook all of those things and they don't blame them in any way.
Even the European, let me tell you. They said they discounted what the European Union said. Election observers.
Late. But why admit them if you can't discount an answer? They admitted it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So why you go admit evidence where you can't discount it? Sorry, I say make I ask. No,
that's what I'm telling you that they forgot all these things. That's what I'm telling you that there is a lot of irregularities in the judgment. I'm telling you, a lot. If we sit down and analyze this thing, it will take 3 days. I'm telling you.
Because you know waiting the court talk for that side and saying that because say those evidences including witnesses supposed come during the pre-hearings.
No.
I say those people they no come and those things no present them. So as in present and later say you don't need to.
No. Let me tell you. You remember that before you can present your witnesses, the matter will be going on. They have already filed. Yeah, when the need arise, yeah. They have already filed. It was the court. It was the court that demanded for those witnesses. Okay. So how could the petitioners bring witnesses when they have not been called upon?
Okay, so make a
remember they gave them time upon which to bring their witnesses.
Absolutely. So make we even clarify this to the layman when understand how the court process they work and how the law they work. How possible it be say courts tell you say bring witness and courts as you bring the witness, admit the witness, say, oh, I don't keep or admit either the evidence or the witness, allow the witness talk, and then admit the evidence, keep for corner. Then at the end of the day, come talk, say, no, this evidence where you bring during judgments, we'll not go for use them again because of say, you not bring them at the right time. Why not tell them from that beginning, say, no, this evidence where you give us now, you don't day late, we'll not go for use them. So no even stress yourself. Why I want to understand why it don't happen like that during
they were working towards an answer. Precious, when you want to play prank, that is what you do. They are working towards an answer. In the first place, are you telling me that those experienced lawyers, they didn't know what they were doing? It's not possible. All those things they are just looking at straws. They are grabbing at straws, just to make sure that what they have already planned worked. They didn't want to give room for anything that they will puncture what they have already decided. If not, I don't see why some of the things they said should come up in that judgment. It's not possible. Look at what they said about the $460,000 issue. That it is a civil forfeiture.
It's civil forfeiture.
Now, listen.
But I think okay, go ahead.
Listen very well. If you are saying it is a civil forfeiture, the fact remains that remember they acknowledge that it was dishonesty and fraud. Remember they acknowledge they acknowledge that. Now, if you are now saying that it is a civil forfeiture, the fact remains that something was forfeited, and it's from dishonesty and fraud. Look at the contradiction. You can imagine. You are stating that this thing was done under dishonest purpose, and then it was a fraud. You accepted it, but you are not saying that the forfeiture itself is civil forfeiture. It is not a criminal offense. How can it be? No, tell me, how can? And it is from a drug business, which is against the law of the United States. So a lot of contradictions. I was thinking that they would discountenance everything. How can you probate and reprobate at the same time in a judgment? They didn't want to. Do you know why they didn't want to say it did not even? They want to discountenance everything, because if they accept that there was something like that, it means that Tinubu is disqualified from contesting that election, and that means everything about their judgment is null and void. That was why they put it at the middle. They are neither here nor there. You can see how they did it. They put it at the middle. They are neither here nor there. And that is not how judgments are done. You have to be specific and precise in a judgment of this nature. You don't just want to be one-sided just to please anybody. No. That is why I don't see any lawyer who have accepted this particular judgment. If you say that Major Dele was praising Olanipekun, didn't Olanipekun fail in when he was defending Atiku? He had defended even at Buhari. Olanipekun had defended them. Didn't he fail? Did he win those cases for them? The same election matter. So why this particular one? The thing is that everything was being done to favor Tinubu in this particular matter. All the facts are there, and it is not proper. My concern here is that what will be said in future concerning this judge. Anyway, you know why I don't want to be too forward about this matter. We see how the Supreme Court, with all the loopholes that lawyers have already picked and all that, I want to see what, especially in that of Abuja, because all the argument that they don't want to make Abuja people look superior to other people in other states, those things are irrelevant, very, very irrelevant. That was not the intention of the framers of the Constitution when they gave Abuja special status. That was not the intention. You should be looking at the intention of the framers of the Constitution. Why was Abuja given a special status? That is what you should be looking at. Not telling us that if you now make Abuja, that Abuja must have 25% before anybody can rule Nigeria. Therefore, you are making Abuja to look more superior than other things. That was not the intention. That was not. That thing is irrelevant. The important thing is that there is a reason why Abuja is given that particular status, and that is Federal Capital Territory. Federal Capital Territory.
Okay, so make we look
for you to win, you must prove that yes, you actually won. That was why they put that and. the tribunal refused to recognize that fact.
But if we also look at the time, the years, the time frame where this the forfeiture thing happened, you don't say now, and you feel say the number of years never wash away the this. And after all, anybody who don't pass 10 years, we don't commit crime. If you go ahead,
you can only talk about that if you have there was a conviction. If you have been convicted for any criminal infraction, after 10 years, it's all over. Are you going to say? But in this case, Tinubu did not start trial. He was not arraigned. He was not arrested.
So how do we now call it a crime if he wasn't arraigned and arrested?
That's what I'm saying. As long as there was an infraction, you have committed an offense. Let me ask you. You know this is the called plea bargain.
Yes.
That you enter the plea bargain, does it erase the fact that you committed a crime? Because
first of all, for you to agree to enter plea bargain, let me say you do something bad.
That's the cross of the matter. It does not regulate. So you're telling us that you did not go to jail. The fact that you forfeited something in lieu of those things that you would have done.
But in the judgment where it be say even the present Supreme Court justice, the Supreme Court, Oga Patapata for judge for Supreme Court don't do where it be say he talk for that judgment say for future follow for criminal offense, because if you forfeit something, me say you feel guilty of that offense.
Exactly.
So in this case, reach Supreme Court. How does the Supreme Court they don't pass that kind of judgment? You can't talk otherwise against your own judgment, so you don't pass.
That's why we are waiting for them. In this particular matter, know, no two cases are the same. Let us see what they will say.
Okay. So Mr. Darlington, make we also look at this case of Labour Party and all that. So you think say they first say Labour Party fail to at least release the numbers of polling units or the names of the particular polling units where they say them, scatter their results. Because that's not part of the thing where it be say court talk. Say Labour Party failed to list the names of all the polling units where it be say they say their results blow, and those results, because they blow, then damage them or then change their results.
Now, let me ask you one question. If you have gathered your information from different sources based on the gimmick Inec was playing, it is not necessary to start naming the polling unit. The fact remains that there was evidence that these results are blood. Why not look at it? There was how they did not deny. They are only asking you to name it. And why they asking you to name it, they want to know if the Labour Party have agents in those polling units, which Labour Party never had. Labour Party never had agents.
Yes, they may not get enough agents.
They didn't.
And I waiting, you face and I waiting make the magomango where they say.
That is what I'm telling you. They knew this. That's why they went there now. That's why they went there.
So to use and hold them for 3 years.
Exactly. Instead of them to look at the fact, the evidence, they are now looking at you. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, yes, they knew that Labour Party never had agents. They didn't have the resources to have agents in all the polling units. So they are using it against them.
Oh wow!
That is what happened now. Okay. Because if you say this is the ask you who is the agent in this polling that produced it.
Okay, so even for the one where you get to do with the technician where we say Labour Party call as witness, they even accuse the person of being partisan because they don't contest election before under the Labour Party.
Can you imagine? If I cannot call somebody who is known to me and who know about me, who is for me, who will I call? Is it my enemy?
And they won't ask you, say, according to the law, is they against the law for somebody to call somebody who don't participate before? Because I know say the sole witness where be say the APC and President bring. The person will be senator under the president.
Exactly.
So why they admit is
thank you, my sister. Thank you. That is what we are saying now. Thank you. You can imagine that. Is that not a contradiction? Under normal circumstances, are you going to call somebody who is not known to you, who is not known to the matter at hand, and who does not know anything about what is? Are you going to call your enemy to come and testify on your behalf? Is it not somebody who knows you, who knows the issues that are being discussed? Just like they call that lawyer who is a senator, APC. Why didn't they look at that too? Is that man not partisan?
That one even talk and say for court say Oga Tinubu train and make.
Can you imagine?
Law, so
just imagine. So you can see how these people have just roped themselves in. I'm telling you.
So, Mr. Darlington, going straight, moving forward, another thing will be very surprising. Now, the fact say the court admits, say, even though say INEC make promises, I'm sorry, make assurances over time, because all of us they when we say INEC over and over again assure Nigerians, and even when rumor come and say that assurance and watch, say they will go back, say they no one use the assurance, they still come back and say no, even Oga Festus Okoye and Oga Yakubu different times. So say no, that rumor na lie. Say they must use IREF, transmit directly in real time and all that. But they can't fail for their promise. And court now for the judgment can say, well, if INEC fail on their promise, say on their assurances, because not be promise again, they assured Nigerians. Say if INEC fail for the assurances, that assurances are mere promises. You understand? So I would like make it help us break down that matter, because it can't be like say we know they believe anybody mouth again. No, maybe say maybe if the person who they represent my constituency tell me say I will safeguard on her, make I not believe him, because promise no be assurance, no be promise. No. If president tell me say he go do this one, make I not believe him, because assurance no be promise. That's what it's supposed to be.
No, it's not. Now let me tell you, every institution you have in Nigeria, they have their own rules and regulations, which is contained in the act. Like you have the CBI Act, you have the EFCC. Meanwhile, these institutions, their powers are contained in the Constitution. Meanwhile, they have rules and regulations guiding them, which guides the operation. So if INEC brought out rules and regulations which they want to use to conduct the election, are you saying that we should not believe in those rules and regulations and we cannot hold them accountable to what they told us? Are you getting what I'm saying now? Because that's what they are hinging on. That the rules and regulation is a mere promise. But it is that rule and regulation is what guided that election.
But they talk about the law. Say law, even though in spite of those promises, say the law permit them to use any mode of transmission within life. So
the rules and regulation,
they back them up by law, because the rules and regulation and the promises they make, they backed up by law. Now just promise and promise. But the way law carry and say they get the right to transmit through any means where they want.
No. You see, look, hold on, please. In matters like this, you don't play with words. You don't. Because it is that thing INEC, that promise INEC made all over the world. That was what gingered people to come out to vote. In fact, most people believe what I know, because that was what made them to come out to vote, because they say that their vote will be uploaded direct from the polling units.
Exactly.
That was what
exactly. That was give a lot of
that was what people said, that yes, their vote will not count. So if you renege on that particular point, what other evidence or what excuse are you want to give? Meanwhile, listen. The other elections, the National Assembly election, House of Rep and the Senatorial, all of them were uploaded. Why this particular one? Is that not enough for you to any rational mind to think that something is wrong somewhere? That these people, they are working towards an answer. You uploaded the same results for senatorial election and the House of Rep. But when it comes to the presidency, you start giving excuses. How do you marry these two together, for God's sake? How? You would have told us that all of them should have followed the same pattern.
Okay, so when it gets to do with the Guinean passport thing today, even throw away that one today, they also talk say they no bring them to court properly and all of that, and say the period to submit that kind of thing, no window to open another petition again, and it don't go. But make we look at reactions we don't follow, because Peter Obi don't react to say they go to appeal Supreme Courts. Even Oga Atiku Abubakar don't talk say they go to Supreme Courts, and Peter Obi lawyer talk say they want to win talk hold very dearly. Say if we know they careful, say the cases of electoral jurisprudence for Nigeria go be wahala, or go be something we be like say they need to carry case
go court
anymore, as it get to do with election.
That's the truth.
You get reaction to that.
In fact, that's the truth, because it started. Listen very well. It started with Lawan.
No.
Hold on. This abracadabra started with Lawan. Remember when Lawan became a senator without even contesting election.
But suppose that don't happen before Lawan.
Good. No, that one he contested the election.
That's what I'm saying. But the judgment.
But this one is very particular. Let's assume that Hope Uzodinma was 4 years ago.
Okay.
And his governorship. But this particular one now, they started playing this prank with the case of Lawan.
Actually before Lawan, because Akpabio case.
Two of them happened at the same time. Yes. When they are talking about the candidacy and what's it, aspirant. Can you imagine? Now, whether you are a candidate or you're an aspirant, there is a guiding rule that you must not be candidate for 2 elections. That is, you pick form for 2 elections.
But we don't see people who contest for 2 elections now, but in this Senate. So.
You can see now. Is that not a contradiction?
So
why didn't they look at that before talking about this particular one?
So now when you don't talk this one, I don't remind me of the APM case where APC court also threw away as then look that case say on a pre-election matter to make on a go rest. Because if we talk about pre-election matter and say the appeal court no gets the power to use handle Sudan the jurisdiction to sit down to handle the matter because say na pre-election matter. But you know one case wey come dey my mind, the case of Chibuike Amechi versus Omeya.
Exactly.
Na say primaries matter.
Exactly.
That one no be pre-election matter.
That was how Amechi became a governor.
That one waka so reach Supreme Court and Supreme Court sack Omeya. Put Amechi there.
Good.
So if na wetin they call am?
I was going there. I was going there because that was how Amechi became a governor without contesting election. That was how Amechi became the governor of Rivers State without contesting election. This tribunal forgot all that. You can imagine. So,
but cases supposed set as because they cited cases during their mention.
They won't cite those ones. They won't cite those ones. That is what I'm telling you. These are I expect their lawyers to go to Supreme Court and tender all these things. Because let me tell you, the court said you cannot interfere in party matters in nominating their candidate. But after they have done all the things they need to do to bring out a candidate, every other party can challenge that candidate. Because if you bring an armed robber, and I know that this guy is an arrow, I can go to court against it.
Exactly. So what's you remind me for this one now that the one will happen with this same challenging of Shettima nomination will happen with PDP, where the same court throw away talk say they no get the local standing to do the case because they filed the case before the election happened. Court say election never even happened and the break case come.
Exactly.
But now election don't happen. Another person don't bring the case come. They constantly tell them say you still not get the same jurisdiction to answer. So how you want you to answer this thing matter?
Have you seen what I told you that this?
I just ask question based on law.
Have you seen why I told you that this particular tribunal they think they are clever? They are not clever. Some of us are not stupid now. All the things they were trying to dodge, we have already captured it. I'm telling you. All these things that they are trying to play pranks with the West in quoting, that is not the issue. They have always left the main issues and they are chasing shadows.
Okay. All right, Mr. Darlington, we don't get him again. So somebody will be a senior advocate of Nigeria. We name Ebo Adegboruwa. Contact say Inec say he fight Ogapola Ahmed Tinubu opponents during this election. And they can't say with the way the Inec use they now, say Inec no go fit hold credible election again because it look like say INEC been the fight opposition of the president for inside the PEPT and say he no trust INEC to hold credible election again. How you take see that matter?
That is the truth. That is the truth. In fact, I've been expecting the opposition to boycott the election based on what has happened because it's like INEC is now an opposition party. They are now partisan. From what has happened in this judgment, INEC is now an opposition party. Is a partisan. Is an interested party in this matter. Okay. So how can you be interested and you are conducting election? That means they are for APC.
So you know if you give a fair judgment.
You cannot. You cannot. Wow. With what has happened, you cannot. The tribunal did not even say anything against INEC or APC. They were just talking against the petitioners. As if the APC and the INEC, they never committed any infraction.
All right, so another person very quickly can also talk, say as it gets to do with the PEPT verdict, say judiciary are undertakers of Nigeria's democracy.
That is the truth.
You agree to that?
I agree quite completely. Look, where Nigeria is today is because of the judiciary. I told you about 1979. If that judgment was upheld and Awolowo was given his mandate, Some of these characters we are seeing today, they will not be in the saddle.
So you believe that 1979?
Yes, it altered a lot of things. You know, when the right people are denied victory, idiots will step in now.
But everybody, the northern rulers and some other people don't they hail the judgment, saying a very good judgment, say it dey okay. But meanwhile, there's somebody will come out, come talk, say make we no blame either the Labour Party or the PDP or anybody. Make we blame Atiku Abubakar. Say Atiku Abubakar na him cause wetin make this case lost. Say Atiku Abubakar know very well. Say he supposed begin play the role of an elder statesman by just staying there and giving Peter Obi the candidacy to use run. But he insists, say he must run and say now he follow for waiting make this election go this way. You agree to that?
That is not an issue. Anybody is a democracy. You are free to go and test your popularity. All this one they are saying, Atiku Abubakar is not older than Buhari now. Abi? He's not older than Obasanjo. So what is anybody saying?
So that case no they follow.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
So moving forward now,
how many times did the Buhari try before he succeeded?
All right. So moving forward now, with the two grieving parties, aggrieved parties rather, don't decide to say that they go Supreme Court. You expect anything different from Supreme Court? What's your expectation?
I expect something different too. No, that's the Supreme Court. I expect something different. Because I'm expecting the Supreme Court to in fact to reinvent themselves. They have passed so many judgments that is causing problem in Nigeria. I expect them to reinvent themselves. I have them to be born again in this matter. The Supreme Court should be born again in this matter. Okay. Yes, because they have had opinions of people. In fact, they have looked. There's no way they will not find something wrong in this judgment. Quote me. There is no way the Supreme Court will not find something wrong in this judgment. It will be impossible.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Darlington. We'll still get a lot to talk about. Time not the make up for finish everything when we get to talk. Hopefully by next week we'll go put more out again for inside this matter because na story we see they grow, you never finish.
Exactly.
I appreciate you as you follow me sit down for inside my TV today. I appreciate you. You know, say be my person. Thank you, plenty. When I grow up, I will take care of you. Thank you. All right, my people. We're gonna go back breaks today for inside updates with your girl Precious. Make sure you subscribe, like, and continue to the comment. We like to hear your thoughts very, very well.